Hi guys, this is Harshit Bhardwaj. Welcome to this session. The most important weapon for your UPSC preparation. I'm going to talk about specific areas of your preparation where nobody talks about. You have all kinds of teachers talking about everything from preparation strategy, timeline, this, that. Because I teach English literature and I come across a lot of students who go through an important phase of their life that can lead to enormous success or probably a wasted effort. How to ensure that the time you're spending for UPSC preparation has higher probability of success. Right? They are very specific and simple ideas that, in my experience, that have worked with students who have succeeded. Right? It's a three-part journey. This exam. So we'll talk about very specific ideas based on my experience. Because I teach English literature, so I come across a lot of Avdesh Singh sir, Rakesh Verma sir, all the fantastic educators. The offer is here. The offer to start the subscription now, and it will last until the prelims 2022. So 4 months of free offer, but only if you buy it by tomorrow, the 31st. The class is in English for 2022, prelims 2021. That's 3 months course, 1 year batches, 2 year batches, 3 year batches, prelims 2021, and the NCR declaration, clarity of NCRD. Now I'm looking at the number of people who are watching it live. I can understand it's a little late in the night. I can understand I only gave you 5 minutes or 1 hour of notice. But out of 80 odd students, how many are there? That's a matter of concern. Why not I do a separate Zoom session for those who turn up in every class? I know it's going to be, I think, Sampriti, Priyanka, and probably Sejal or one of the most sincere students. I can do a Zoom class for them if nobody else is really bothered. Okay, I'm gonna do one more class tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you when that class is going to happen. I'll do it at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Final, it might be 6:30, and based on the number of students who turn up in that class, I'll decide whether to continue this series or not. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll just take those who are very serious and sincere in attending these live classes. I'll just take those students and do a separate Zoom class. We'll record those sessions and we'll probably post it on YouTube. So you'll have a recorded class, not a live one. Tomorrow 6 p.m. It's up to you how many turn up. So you have an option to buy only GS or GSN optional. That's the combo. You can go for Iconic or Plus. Use my code for 10% discount. That's it for the Unacademy. Now let's talk about the most powerful weapon that will help you beat this competition. What do you think it is? I think this weapon is not visible. What do you think this is? Tell me. What's the most powerful weapon to win this battle called UPSC? I can tell you it is make or break. It's the secret. It's the holy grail of your preparation. And by the end of this lesson, I want you to have mastered this. I can promise you that. I can assure you. We need to understand what is that. First hand reading of texts under proper guidance. Okay. Talking about logistics. Okay, that's also important. I'm talking about the mindset, the attitude side of things. Let me tell you a little story. Practice, guidance, all good. Let me tell you a little story. Gautam Buddha, did I tell you this story in today's special class? No. Gautam Buddha was walking through a dark forest at night. He was walking through, he had to move from one village to another village, and he was all alone, just nothing in his hands, just walking through. And suddenly, from behind the bushes, a man, a beast of a man, jumped up in front of him. That man unleashed a scary laughter, laughed like a madman, and he had a big weapon, a shining dagger in one hand and a small knife in another. He was wearing a belt of amputated fingers. Blood was still dripping from some of them. He had a necklace, a garland of skulls around his neck, and parts of human bones, strewn around his body. And it was a scary sight. His eyes were dark, shining like embers. His hairs were all over the place, mingled and dreadlocks. He smiled at Gautam Buddha and laughed. Gautam Buddha just smiled back. He laughed and he just wanted to intimidate Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha was not swayed at all. He just stood there and he smiled back at him. Just did a little nod. The man grew impatient and he couldn't believe that he could not scare a regular monk, armless regular monk walking through the jungle. He laughed again, trying to scare and intimidate Gautam Buddha, but Gautam Buddha wasn't swayed. Finally, the man said, "Don't you know who the hell I am?" Gautam Buddha said, "I don't know." Ah, he said, "You don't know who I am. I am the great Angulimal." And Gautam Buddha said, "Oh, okay. So you are Angulimal." And Gautam Buddha said, "You're not as scary as they tell. You're not at all as scary as people talk about." That struck a blow. Angulimal was like, "What? I'm not scary. I'm the great Angulimal. Look at this. I cut the fingers of my victims. I behead them. I just unleash the terror on human beings. Are you not scared? Are you not afraid?" Gautam Buddha said, "Why should I be afraid? I can kill you." Well, I can die any moment. Anything can kill me. A serpent can bite me. A lion can eat me. Life and death are two parts of a coin. Why should I be scared? I can torture you and kill you. Well, if that's what my karma are, I will probably have to go through the torture. Why should I be scared? What is there to be scared? Angulimal had no answer. He moved towards him and he said, "Look, you're scared. I have the weapon. I can just cut your head off." Buddha said, and this is something to note, between you and me, Angulimal, you are the one who's scared. Look, who is carrying weapons? I'm not carrying any weapon. I'm walking through this forest bare feet. You are the one who's carrying all the weapons of fear. Your belt, your skulls, your entire wardrobe, and your weapons. Who needs a weapon? Somebody who's scared for his life. I don't need a weapon. You do. So who's the one who's afraid? You are. So Anglimal, just tell me what you are afraid of. I'll help you understand that fear is the biggest killer. And that's how Angulimal became the disciple of Gautam Buddha. He understood his overtly aggressive outer experience and his entire life as a dacoit and a killer was born out of fear. He was afraid. He was a weak man. And to make up for that fear and that being afraid of things you can't control, he became Angulimal. And to scare others, he was feeding off his fear. So the most powerful weapon is also the most deadliest weapon, and which is, what is it? It's a two-edged sword. It cuts both ways. What is it? Fear. Absolutely. I see aspirants all year round. I've been doing it for last 4 years. Out of hundreds of students that I've taught, only six managed to sit for mains. Right? And out of six, four got through the mains. Two of my students this year have got interview calls. So technically, it's not right to say that they have cleared the exam, but they've gone to the next step. So out of six, four have moved on to the next one. Two are serving officers. Only six. So my success rate is quite good, right? I wish 100 students sit for mains in English literature. 100, if 100 students taught by me will go through to mains, I'm pretty sure success rate will be above 90%. Why? Because I teach them. Most of these who got through this, they had this innate understanding of fear. Anyone who succeeds is a master of this, master of fear. How does it attack you? You, right now, how does it attack you? You need to understand this. Fear can be defined in many different ways. False emotions appearing real. Fear is always in future. Have you ever experienced when something bad happens to us, like when it's happening in the present, we somehow figure out a way to deal with it. And when you look back at it after the event is gone, when you look back, even laugh at it, right? So even the most dangerous situations, when they're happening in the present, you tackle them. You realize that you're stronger than what you think. Fear is not about present. Fear is about future. What might happen? What might happen? It hasn't happened yet. But when you start thinking what might happen, you create a chain of thought. So coming back to those who succeed, those who I have seen succeeding, and those who I believe will succeed, people in other areas of life as well. How do they master fear? In my experience, when I talk to students all year round, prelims is happening in the last week of June this year. Now is March. So we have April, May, and June. The state of mind of those students appearing in 2021 right now and from now until the exam, that will decide whether they'll do their best or they'll cower under fear. So when you're getting closer to the exam, when you're getting closer to the D-Day, fear sets in. What if I don't clear? That's how it starts. What if the paper is really difficult? What if I don't clear the exam? And the chain starts. Then you're thinking, well, if I don't clear the exam, how will I face my parents, my family, my friends, my teachers? Okay. Acute embarrassment. You can actually feel those feelings. Feelings that don't exist yet. They're out in the future, 3 months down the line, 4 months down the line. You can feel them right now. Yeah. And those feelings breed other feelings. Okay, if I don't clear, can I prepare next year? I'm 25, I'm 26, I'm 27, I'm 28. What will I do? This is my last chance. I've put everything I have in this. I've left my job or I'm not taking any job. I'm stalling my career. What will I do? I'll have to start all over again. My dream will be shattered. All the money that my parents have spent, all the time that I have spent, all the promises, all the dreams. And you get into that cocoon of fear. And every single day, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. By the time you get to the exam, you act out of fear, not optimism, not excitement, not hope, out of fear. So when you act out of fear, you're nervous, you make wrong decisions. Answers that you might do right, in the right frame of mind, you go wrong. You're not in the best peak frame of mind when you're engulfed with fear. You cannot. So to be in the peak form of your life, normally you should try to get to the peak form. And the fear works in reverse. An UPSC exam or any difficult exam requires you to be in the peak form, peak frame of mind, top frame of mind, as peak as an Olympic gold medalist. It's the Olympics of exams in India, right? It's nothing is bigger than this. Nothing is more competitive, nothing is more difficult than this. And you arrived in the exam room, engulfed with fear, not in your peak state. Everything depends on this day. Your fear is telling you, what if you go wrong? What if you don't get selected? What if the exam paper is difficult? What if you don't know the questions? You're not in your peak form. You do not fail at the exam, you fail before it. You failed here. Armies don't fail, don't get defeated in the war, in the battle zone. They are defeated even before it. How many of you experience this fear? Be very honest. This is the make or break most students because every one of you is taking a chance with your life. You, you require at least 1 year, 1.5 year of your life when with the most important years of your life, the 20s, the mid 20s, early 20s, and you all have different circumstances. You're all sacrificing a lot of other things. You're taking a huge chance by investing your time and effort into this exam. So there is a lot at stake. Fear is natural. It's natural to be afraid. How many of you experienced this? Hmm. During college, not now. Priyanka says. There will be, as you get closer to the exam, that's why I chose to do this class for aspirants who are appearing for 2021. Those who are appearing for 2022, the fear is still too early to set in. But those who are appearing for 2021, it's only 3 months away. Okay? Now the reality is sinking in. As it gets closer, you talk to other aspirants, your parents are excited and nervous, everyone's nervous around you. And what might happen? What if I fail? As soon as you entertain this first question, what if I fail? This question will come and in front of you like Angulima, and it will tell you to be afraid, to be very afraid. I'm pretty damn sure everyone's going to face this question. What if I fail? And from this question, this question is like the great demon called, you might have heard of him. Have you heard of him? Rakt Beej. In the battle with the demons, goddess Kali faced this insurmountable demon. He had the boon from Lord Shiva that every time even a drop of blood falls on the floor, on the ground, with every drop of blood, new demon will come. So hundreds of drops of blood. Every time a drop of blood fell to the ground, a new demon would become Raktbij. So Podeskali was slashing him, cutting him, injuring him. Blood would fall down, and again a new Raktbij would appear, more powerful. Fear works like this: you entertain one question, and it forks out into multiple questions, multiple scenarios. Your mind entertains those scenarios. So, what if I fail? What if I don't clear the exam? Then you go into that line of thought. If I fail, this will happen. Now, as soon as you take that path, your mind will concoct those exact emotions and feelings. And the law of attraction say, if you can feel something as if it's actually happening, you can really feel and imagine and visualize something as if it's actually happening to you right now, the probability of that thing happening increases many folds, right? That's law of attraction for you. So you can use law of attraction both ways. So when you fear, when you feel scared and you're filled up with those emotions and feelings as if that thing is happening now, what if I fail? And you get into that scenario, you can imagine it, you can feel it, you increase and enhance the possibility of that thing happening. That's on the law of attraction side. But in the literal side, you'll be plagued with fear and you will not reach your peak performance. Does that make sense? You need to be really watchful of any thought that instills fear. And how do you identify that thought? Anything that proposes a negative scenario, anything in life. It could be failing in the exam, it could be if I go to the market and I'll catch corona, that is a negative scenario. It could be if I go for a run, I might twist my ankle. Anytime you entertain a negative scenario, the floodgates of fear will open. And from one scenario, so many narratives will open, and you will start feeling that fear now. It hasn't happened, it doesn't exist. It's just a scenario in the future, it's hypothesis. But you can feel it now. Anything that you can feel now and experience now and have emotions for it, the probability of its manifestation will increase. That's how when Jesus asked a sick person, he would go and Jesus would ask a sick person lying on the floor or the bed. Jesus would ask, do you want to be healed? And the person would say, yes, my Lord, I want to be healed. The next question Jesus would ask is, do you believe you can be healed? He said, yes, my Lord, I believe in you. I have complete faith in you and I will be healed. And then Jesus would put his hand on his head, the head of the sick person, and just ask him to feel that you have healed. That's it. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true, maybe it's just a biblical metaphor, but it proves something which we've been talking about. The other opposite of law of attraction or manifestation. When Jesus says, do you want to be healed? And the person says yes. So you're affirming to a situation which you want to happen. You're affirming, you're saying yes. So when you entertain a fearful thought, you're saying yes. And the next question is, do you believe you will be healed? The person says, yes, I have absolute faith in you, I will be healed. So The person is now affirming more strongly because the person has complete faith over Jesus Christ. So when you go down the path of fear and you affirm, how do you affirm? You affirm by entertaining one thought and start to walk that path. What if I fail? And then you have started. You're affirming. You're saying yes, yes. And when Jesus puts his hand over the head and ask the person, feel it. Feel that you heal. He is doing exactly what fear does to you. You can feel the fear. You can feel the failure, which hasn't happened. The person hasn't healed. In the Bible, in the biblical stories, parables of Jesus, it is said that he just put his hands around the body and the person is healed miraculously right away. It probably happens right away, it probably happens in months. But if the person can feel healed right now, then the person will be healed. If you feel failed, afraid right now, then you will increase and enhance your possibility of failure. So why don't flick it around? Be guardful of the path of fear. Be on the lookout for any negative scenario. The first question that pops in that presents you that scenario, shut the door. Okay? Identify. One, shut the door. You can mentally shut that door. Just I know people, I know life coaches, experts who suggest that you imagine a door when you're thinking of fear, associate a door, and mentally shut that door. Once you do it once, twice, thrice, the knocking on the door will decrease. Other side of this fear is that you affirm success. You affirm your peak form here. How do you want to feel when you're sitting for your prelims exam? How do you want to feel when you come out of it? You're given the exam and you're walking out of the exam hall. How are you feeling? Can you imagine that? I want you to do a little exercise that'll take 60 seconds. Little visualization exercise, affirmation exercise that I'll leave you with. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, count from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You will feel the images behind my words. You will gather exact images, exact scenario of what I am going to tell you. Your phone rings, your mobile phone is ringing. You pick it up, it's a friend. The friend tells you that you have cleared the UPSC exam. You cannot speak. You're overjoyed with emotions. Feel those emotions. You sit down, You look around your room or wherever you are, you don't know what to do. You call someone, the first person you call could be the person that you love most. Could be your mother, could be your father, could be your brother, could be your friend. You call that person. Right now, you're calling that person. It's ringing, that person picks the phone, and you break the news. Words don't matter. What do you say? It doesn't matter. Broken the news. What is the reaction of that person and how are you feeling right now? You told the person that I have cleared the UPSC exam. How are you feeling right now? If you can gather your emotions, if you can feel that emotion, and you're leaking the news of your success, UPSC success, to your most beloved person on earth. What is that other person saying? How are you feeling? You feel this? Can you feel the joy? This is what you have to feel. You can open your eyes and can come back. This is what you need to affirm and visualize. This is what you must be feeling throughout. You have the option to feed the fear, emotions associated with fear, or feed the emotions associated with success. What you just felt. If you did the exercise as I told you, those emotions, you can feed those. You can feel those every day. Imagine yourself sitting in the uniform in your office. Imagine yourself, your parents, friends, relative calling you with pronoun, DM or SP or IFS officer, and you name. Start hearing that. It should be so clear to you that you could hear people calling you that. That emotion, that feeling is what you need to grab every single day. Because that's the feeling that will keep you at the peak. It will keep the door of fear shut. How was it? Any one of you did the exercise and felt anything out? Write in the comments. This is the most powerful tool. The power of your mind. It can work, feed the fear, and it's equally capable to feed the success, emotions of success. What do you choose to do with it? It's up to you. Hmm. Makes sense? Was it helpful? Was it good? How was it? Never for a single day feed your fear, but you will have to feed your success emotions associated with success every single day. Need to feel them every single day, just like food, right? I hope it was helpful. I hope I made some difference in someone's life or your life. In some way, it was difficult because I understand a lot of students lose because of fear, lose because they get too scared and there's nobody to talk to. It's a lonely, long journey. I hope I'm able to give you some assistance, be a little more empathetic to my students, and even if this can help one student, that's enough. Scared and there's nobody to talk to. Okay, I think it's time to call it quits. You have a fantastic rest of the evening. Tomorrow, 6 p.m., we'll have a class on text. I'll send you the notification on the Telegram group and we'll take it from there. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope it was helpful.